Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since I've been around, but thought I'd check in quick. So everybody says that stock Harley pipes suck, and I think we all know that, right? They're extremely EPA compliant, let's say. Everybody changes them out, right? But I want to show you something. You can make a stock Harley pipe sound decent. Maybe not the greatest thing in the world, but sound decent. So I ended up getting rid of my 2022 CVO Road Glide Limited, and I picked up this ugly beast of a bike, which, you know, has the, I don't know how well it's going to pick up in the light because we do have a bit of a storm coming through, but these are the titanium exhaust that comes on the CVO ST. Now, with that said, with a little bit of work, you can make them sound a little bit better. Now, what do I mean by that? So, if you've ever looked at what stock exhaust have, they're extremely filled with a lot of sound deadening material. These are the ends that go into the stock Harley exhaust for the titanium mufflers, right? Very restrictive, very long tube, very narrow. I think that's only about 1.25 inch outlet on that thing. So I pulled these out, right? The titanium exhaust that has the carbon fiber ends on it and all that, they're held together by pop rivets. Now they're steel pop rivets, okay. So they take a little bit of work, a little bit of drilling, but you see, it's just pop rivets. This cap is held on by a pop rivet, and so is the end point held in by pop rivet. The inlet on these are held in by pop rivet. Inside here, there is a lot of sound deadening with just a perforated baffle, and then of course the restrictive outlet that we looked at, right? So what do? Well, you drill out all the pop rivets, you take the guts out of it, and you modify your exhaust a little bit, right? So I do have a set of tab slip-ons for this thing, and I have had with the zombie baffles, and I had them on my last bike as well. And they're right there. They're going to go back on. Don't take me wrong. They're going to go back on, right? There's no question in that. They're going to go back on. But let's see what this thing sounds like after what I've done to it, and I'll tell you what I've done to it. I don't know how well you're going to hear me over the exhaust, but that sounds a lot better, right? It's definitely a lot better. Definitely a lot better than what the stock exhaust sounds like because it's so restrictive. Now, with that said, what did I do? Well, those pop rivets, I drilled out all those pop rivets, took it all apart, pulled all that sound deadening packing out of it. Now I'm going to grab a flashlight here because I can maybe get you a little bit of an idea inside what I've done to it. So what this has done is it's been basically straight piped. If you look at the zombie baffles on the tab, they're basically just a 2.25 inch or 2.5 inch exhaust pipe. That's all it is. It's just exhaust tubing with a narrowed down end point, right? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into this or not, but I'm going to try. Right. So inside, there's the stock baffle. And you can kind of see that perforated tubing. But what did I do? Actually, inside of that, over the top of all that, is just a 2.25 straight pipe. Just thick wall, exhaust tubing, standard, you know, automotive stuff. About a 4-foot piece, cut it to fit, bang both ends in on it, and now the thing's straight pipe basically with that little bit of baffle in it. That little bit of baffle really doesn't do anything but turbulate the flow, really. It doesn't do anything, that perforated piece. So you can make, with a little bit of effort, you can make a stock pipe that looks like it came from the factory. You got the stamping, the EPA stamping on the inside, all that stuff, but it doesn't sound like stock baffles. I'm not going to bother trying to do a sound bite for the zombie baffles. If you don't know what the tabs sound like, you've been living under a rock for the last couple of years. So there's no real question involved in what those sound like. They sound great. I love them. I've had them on the previous bike. I've had them on this bike. They sound great. I actually love the sound of them things. So I said, well, hey, you know, a couple of $30 worth of tube, a little bit of my time, not a whole lot of effort. Let's see what we can do. And that's exactly what I did. I just went and basically straight piped a stock exhaust pipe. And it works out very well. I'm going to run this for a little while. I've got a trip coming up to New York that I'll be taking again this year. I do every year. Go back and hang out with my club brothers. And I'm probably going to put the tabs back on before I go. But I am going to run around with this a little bit. So they don't sound that bad. I really, you know, thinking about it, it's my fault. What I really should have done is I should have videoed the entire process of tearing them apart. But it's not hard, right? On these titanium exhaust, you just drill those rivets out. It's all basically held in by pop rivets. You take it apart, you pull the backing out of it. Now, what I did do is there is an outside mat that goes around. There's then an inside screen that holds that part, as well as a whole lot of loose, stringy, I won't say loose, it's stringy, packed in there, fiberglass packing, which is where all the sound deadening comes from. Even after removing those restrictive end caps, it still sounded like crap because of all of that packing and all that sound deadening in it. Pulling all of that out, putting the straight pipe in, and shoving it back together, and just pop riveting it back in, very simple, very straightforward. It probably took me, well, it took me a little bit more on the first one, and I would have done it a little bit different than what I did. But all you have to do is 1/4 inch tube, thick wall. You put a couple of hash cuts in it for the inlet side, and you just take a dead blow hammer and pop it right in, and it goes in real simple. So now the thing's straight piped, it sounds decent. I may actually run around with this because this looks stock, but it's not. So it's kind of cool. It actually sounds pretty decent. I just put them on this morning. It's been kind of overcast, kind of shitty, so I haven't bothered to go out. I'll probably do that tomorrow, which is a Monday. Something like that, and we'll see, because right now we're, you know, have a bunch of thunder boomers and lightning going on. Do I feel like getting wet? No, because I don't have to. I ride in the rain, whatever, but I don't need to. So you can do it. It's not hard. You probably do something similar with stock exhaust, pull the baffling out. Now what you would do with that, I don't know how you'd sleeve that because it doesn't come apart. These titanium mufflers come apart very easily. Yes, I know, I basically destroyed a $1,200 set of mufflers. They were on the bike when I got it, and I replaced the mufflers anyways because they were terrible. But now I can put them back on with, make it look like it came off the showroom floor, but it sounds a whole lot better. So think about it. You can do shit like that. Not hard. Anyways, we'll catch you later. Ride fast. Take chances. See ya.